If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.
Let's sort of pivot and talk your value-added stuff, because that's really what caught my attention, and one of the things I'd kick myself if we didn't talk about it before we wrapped up.
No, of course.
Was that just sort of birthed out of your culinary previous life of you're making sauces, you're making these different things, and I'm gonna make them for myself. I might as well try to offer these to customers. Or what was the thing that sort of drove you to make that a staple aspect of enterprise of your business?
Yeah, it was something that I'd always wanted to kind of work into what we were doing. I needed that to be kind of my culinary creative outlet from the farm, not being able to be cooking for people anymore. It felt like a way to kind of put my stamp on something that wasn't just fresh produce that they were able to enjoy, be excited about. The first thing that we really dove into was those pickled carrots. And that just kind of came out of being a new farmer and really overseeing some carrot beds and ending up with a ton of baby carrots that I needed to figure out something to do with. So I came up with a good pickle brine real quick, and we just figured it out. The recipe is tweaked a little bit from there, but and once I figured out some additional ways to source carrots and kind of keep those on the shelf year round, we've really leaned into that. And every other product has kind of come out of usually just having excess of something. We had all of our split sad tomatoes every week in harvest that weren't going places. So being able to core them and throw them in the freezer and then make a tomato jam out of those as we had time was huge. When we had excess jalapenos, it was like, okay, let's figure out a cowboy candy situation. So it's been fun as the market for those has grown and people have come to trust me in making a quality product. They're very, very, very willing to say, oh, Cory's got a new thing on the table. We're going to grab it. So this Christmas has been cool to see, like, oh, I'm going to snag up a dozen different jars to give out as Christmas gifts. It really, I take such pride in that. It's been really cool to have that niche grow and, be recognized for that in our community. So it's been fun.
Yeah. And so has it grown to the point where now you have like dedicated not necessarily like dedicated production, but in your crop plan, in your production, like you're knowing like, all right, we're going to, if we can sell this many pounds of fresh jalapeno to our customers, but I know we can move this many pounds worth of it value added, is that a part of your production plan now, or is it still just sort of like as you have extra, we're taking all of our seconds, we're taking sort of the extra stuff at the end of the bed that we can't really move, and you're just sort of making things as you need to,
yeah. That's what it started with initially, but it was definitely built into the crop plan as those products were well received. But there was always that conversation with other farmers of like, is this something that I want to be doing? Do I want to be doing this value-added product, or do I need to adjust how many jalapenos I'm planting because I have more than is being received? But these products have been well received, and I have some retailers that will carry them year-round, so it's easy to. We definitely leaned into that these last couple of years. It was like, nope, we're going to plant X number, whatever sells fresh is cool. And we'll really push those peppers to the restaurants as well, because there's definitely way more than we can ever move at a farmer's market with those hot peppers. But everything else, we've figured out good systems to get those things processed quickly and into the freezer so that I think that catch point of like, okay, we have surplus, but we also have so much other stuff going on the farm right now. How do we make sure that this product doesn't just become waste as efficiently and safe of a way as possible? So my employees didn't come from like strong food service backgrounds prior. So it's not like I could say, hey, just batch this out real quick. It's going to be fast. You're going to be really efficient in the way that you're doing things. So having to get a good food processor that we can feed jalapenos through quickly and get those bagged and frozen and not have to worry about them going bad is huge. Having enough freezer space to be able to kind of sit on things that then become value added is huge. And that's been a big learning curve. Like our pickled carrots are something that we use, the weird carrots that look curly and stubby and, have that extra long tail on them. And to be able to process those, I've thought of taking those to a commercial processor where they get run through a slicer and made into little batons and then they get canned. But I don't want food waste. So that's something that I still have to do on my own. And it's fun. It's fun, like, knife work practice for me to be able to kind of efficiently get those as uniform as I can while minimizing waste. But finding ways that you can kind of offload that labor, though it's not just all on me, is huge, which has been good in that it like provides, when we have thunderstorms, it's like, okay, we've got good barn work to do. We can work on canning stuff all day. We can do these other things on frozen mornings before we thaw out. But you're still working from the farm side of things versus from the restaurant side of things. So I have to be worried about and cognizant of, like, I want my employees to be safe and I want them to be working professionally, but, I can't have the same speed expectations of someone that came here to grow produce with me doing this as someone that, I hired them based on the resume of being an efficient line cook.
Hello, growers. Say goodbye to heavy sandbags and hello to Modern Growers Quick Hoops Low Tunnels. Protect your plants from pests, wind, rain, and frost without the hassle of sandbags or flimsy hoops. Our patented design eliminates the need for clamps and ropes, while the unique wire system keeps covers secure yet easily accessible. Tested in the strong winds of New Zealand for over 20 years, Quick Hoops are light, strong, portable, and versatile. Most importantly, they're designed for field use. These aren't some lightweight system that only looks great in a greenhouse. Our hoops are designed to last in harsh field conditions. Use them with any covering to grow year-round and safeguard your crops. Shade cloth, frost blanket, insect net, clear poly, no problem. Quick Hoops can handle them. Get Quick Hoops today at shop.moderngrower.co and protect your crops for years to come.